make our beginning in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. The Lord be with you. So the catechism review for this week comes from the second petition of the Lord's Prayer. And that second petition is, Thy kingdom come. You all know that line, right? We say, Thy kingdom come in the Lord's Prayer. And for a lot of people, we're always like, well, what does that mean? And we're simply asking that God or Jesus' kingdom would come. And the reason why we ask for that is because God's kingdom is very different from the kingdoms of the world. The kingdoms of the world rule from up top. What I mean is their power is at the top and they roll down. Jesus' kingdom, the power comes from the bottom. For example, Jesus is a servant. He values love over everything else. Okay? Begins from the bottom up. Very different from the kingdoms of the world that value many regards violence and force. Jesus is about servanthood, about loving your enemies, which we'll talk about in a little bit. All right? Okay, we have the opening hymn, right?
We haven't done this one for a while. It's a good day to sing. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay, from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. Debt to pay, from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Our next one, Open Our Eyes, Lord. We'll sing it just one time. Open our eyes, Lord. We want to see Jesus, to reach out and touch him, and say that we love him. Open our ears, Lord. Help us to listen. Open our eyes, Lord. We want to see Jesus.
Hey, so the reading for this morning is from Luke chapter 6. And this is also the reading for this past Sunday here in church. Jesus says, But I say to you that listen, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. If anyone strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also. And from anyone who takes away your coat, do not withhold even your shirt. Give to everyone who begs from you. And if anyone takes away your goods, do not ask for them again. Do to others as you would have them do to you. This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Okay, guys. So, the question, love your enemies. What do you think, Christian? No, yeah. You said no. No. All right. Well, I'm going to show you some images of people who are enemies, if you will, are the bad guys in different movies and different scenarios, okay? And let me know if you think they're worthy of love or if they're easy to love, okay? Now, some of these were for the younger kids, so you might think, what is that? But some of the other ones I think you'll like. So the first one, all right, let's see. Who we got here? Who's that? Yes, the guy. What's that? So Sam knows. He's like, Hans, yeah. For those familiar with Frozen, Hans, to me at least, you guys know I have 2 little girls, so I've watched this ad nauseum. Anyways, Hans is very different in that he's very cunning. Like, the movie starts and you think, oh, he's going to be the prince that saves Elsa. Well, it turns out, he wants the kingdom for himself. And you think he would be a guy that would be easy for you to love, like to pray for? No, yeah. Really, Joe? I know, but in light of this, I mean, he's got a sword going for Elsa. Oh man, you're such a lawyer already. All right, so Hans, he's a tough one to love, okay? All right. Darth Vader. Yeah, okay. What's that? Respect thy parents. Okay. Darth Vader is a pretty bad dude. I mean, I mean that's kind of my generation of Star Wars. Do you think he's someone that would be easy to love? Really? Come on! All right, well, okay. Let's go to the next one. All right. No, right? She's mean. Yeah. The Wicked Witch of the West. I mean, there's just something about her that's scary, you know? There are just certain people who you encounter, you're like, you scare me. So, okay, you think she would be easy to love? Or like a little... Now, when I use the word love, I should clarify. I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm just talking about the love that Jesus speaks of. Agape love, selfless love, praying for our enemies, treating them well. Okay? And then here's the last one. And I went with the guys. Okay, I know it's exciting, Dr. Octopus, but he was is a pretty mean guy. Not one of my favorite villains, but I thought I'd throw him up there. I kind of think Spider-Man's overrated, but that's just me. I'm a Daredevil guy. Do you think he's easy to love? All right, now I want to switch it a little bit. Now I want to show you pictures of Jesus' actual enemies, okay? So I'm going to give you a picture right now, and let me know if you can guess who this is. Remember, these are Jesus' enemies. Who got that? Oh, Ed, Will. All right, these are the Pharisees. And you want to talk about enemies. These guys, for basically 3 years, followed Jesus wherever he went, trying to find something wrong with what he said. They were constantly investigating him, watching every little thing he did, because they wanted to get him in what he said. And eventually, they do get him, but they have to convict him or convince the court of things he did not do or say. But also, I want you to think about this, the way in which Jesus loves them. Jesus gets annoyed with them, but he always speaks truthfully, okay? He speaks truthfully and he takes a stand against them. That's the thing with love. Doesn't mean that you're a pushover. You can take a stand. You speak up. And he speaks up. Speaks up when they go after him. And here's what's also really interesting. Later on, after they get Jesus, they come to arrest him. They bring their police to arrest Jesus. And Jesus' disciples, they're ready to fight back, and they go to take out their swords. And what does Jesus do? He tells his disciples, put your sword away. For those who live by the sword, die by the sword. Which reveals that Jesus is even willing to die for his enemies. He's not going to fight on their terms. He's going to fight on his terms, which is to fight with love. He will not repay evil for evil. His love is complete. Okay? By complete, I mean it's for his friends and his enemies. So I want to show you another enemy of Jesus, okay? Got the next one. And there's Jesus. He's arrested. Anybody know who that is? Yeah, Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate and the Romans. And in many ways, Pontius Pilate probably didn't even know who Jesus was until the Pharisees and the Sadducees brought him to him. Brought Jesus to him. But Pontius Pilate, in many regards, represents the Roman authorities. And what do we know about Pontius Pilate and his soldiers, maybe his soldiers? How do they end up treating Jesus? What do they do to him? What was that? Well, yes, it gets to that point where they kill him, but before they get to killing him, they mock him, they spit on him, they do all kinds of terrible things to him. And eventually they'll nail him to the cross. And how does Jesus respond? Anybody will. What's his big statement from the cross in the midst of all that? Forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's Jesus' response to his enemies. Again, it's a complete love, what we call complete love. It's both a love that covers his friends, but also covers his enemies. Because here's a question for all you guys. If Jesus actually repaid them according to their deeds, the way they treated him, where would we all be? Would Jesus have gone to the cross? Probably not. But that's where Jesus is intent on going. The cross. Both for his friends and also his enemies. For all people, including you and me. And that's really where we see his great love on display. And that he lays down his life for all people. All people. He loves even his enemies. And because of that, he brings salvation to you and me. So think about that, all right? Ponder that as we move forward in the day. This is a complete love. And this is what it looks like. All right? Why don't we continue now? Or the offering.
Our offerings for this month are still for Lutheran Schools Association, and for our offertory hymn, we have a new song that we will be singing from now through Easter time, Father Providing.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Most especially this morning, we ask that you would enable us to love our enemies, just as you love your enemies, just as you have loved us. Remind us that through this great love, you saved the entire world and you saved us.
Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses,
as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Let us bless the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you always.
For our closing song this morning, we're singing Go Now in Peace. In the past, we've sung it all together, but it is a song that can be sung in a round in two parts. So I'm going to start with this side. Mrs. Marino will come in second with that, and we will sing it through 2 times. Go now in peace, go now in peace.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
All right, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Schultz.
We have character trait awards for February. The character trait that we're recognizing is generosity, people who like to give more than they receive. And we'll start with Miss Colthur's class, Bobby Goering. Mr. Martinez's class, John Lord. Mrs. Cahalan's class, Kira Lopez. Mr. Bosse's class, Danny Flores. Mrs. Kennedy's class, Amari Campbell. And Miss Vought's class, Will Tinson. Generosity. Just a reminder, next week is Ash Wednesday, and we have the tradition of, as you leave, you receive a blessing and some ashes, and so it's kind of a somber, quiet end of the service, and so workers of the week are going to be at the start of chapel next week. And the playground is closed today, I'll slip that one in there. And Mrs. Marino is going to tell us a little bit about Lutheran Schools Week, and then Will's going to get us all set up for March and his student leadership project.
Good morning. Next week is Lutheran Schools Week. For those of you who have not experienced that before, it's a spirit week for us here at Chapel School. It's a time for us to celebrate being a Lutheran school, which is very unique characteristic of Chapel School. So we will recognize that by having extra things throughout the week, and each day will have a theme, which often comes with a dress code for the day. For instance, Monday is Pajama Day. There will be pancakes for lunch and reading buddies, preschool through 8th grade. So pajamas, slippers, robes, comfy, cozy things on Monday. On Tuesday, it is Disney Day. So that means you can come sporting a shirt showing a Disney character or graphic on it. You can dress in an ode to a character as well, or as part of a costume, clothing pieces for a Disney character, or you can also dress as a tacky tourist as well. So think of like a visor, a fanny pack, and sunglasses, socks and sandals, just to get the ideas going for you. On Wednesday, since it is Ash Wednesday and we do have chapel, we're going to go with our Sunday best for Sunday, or for Wednesday, sorry, during the week next week. On Thursday, it is mathletes versus athletes. So for mathletes, you can dress as your favorite mathematician or sporting some sort of mathy apparel, or dress what you think a mathematician might look like, or you can go for the athletes and wear team apparel or dress in a athletic apparel. Got it? Mathletes versus athletes. And then Friday is Chapel School Spirit Day, so you can wear Chargers gear, your school spirit gear, or dress in red, black, and white. If you are not going to wear any of the outfits that go with each day, then it's still uniform if you're not participating. All right, and it's going to be a very fun week. Thank you very much.
And that actually, just a reminder, many of you are part of the Select and Chamber Choir, so you guys are singing on Sunday, right? So we have Lutheran School Sunday to kick the week off, and then we have our end of basketball celebration capped off in the afternoon by teachers or faculty versus 7th grade, and then we have, oh come on Henry, really? And then we have alumni game, and so there's going to be a whole bunch of high school. Hopefully we're going to get more and more of the girls to come back and play, but we've got usually a good game of 20 to 30 high schoolers come back to play a game after that. All right, Mr. Tinson.
Hello. So for the month of March, I will be representing Save the Children and the Hurricane Maria Relief Fund in their efforts to help Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria last year. Save the Children is an organization that provides disaster relief and aid to children and families who need it the most. They work tirelessly to improve the lives of children around the world who may not be as fortunate as us. Their unique and holistic approach has contributed greatly to the decrease in child deaths in recent years, from about 12 million deaths a year to 5.9. Save the Children protects the most vulnerable children in the world, campaigns for long-term improvement in children's lives around the world, helps improve children's access to food and health care, grants and secures the highest quality of education possible for these kids, and helps families in the poverty circle of the poorest countries so that they can supply their own families with food and basic necessities. Puerto Rico was devastated by Hurricane Maria last September. However, very little disaster relief was sent to the island, and many of the initial problems are still ongoing. Save the Children were among the first to arrive with aid, being on the island in under 96 hours to help distribute clean water, family hygiene supplies, and solar light and repair kits. They still have much more to accomplish and have created a 2-year system that will help more than 200,000 children and adults by September of 2019. The system has identified 40 communities to prioritize where the most damage occurred. This system includes child protection, return to learning, and nutritional support. Child protection supports parents, teachers, and kids by helping them with their feelings, sense of loss, and fears. Child protection allows Save the Children to create safe places for the children to play and have fun and encouraging childhood to grow. Return to learning encourages schools that were damaged and destroyed. Many are still unable to reopen, and those that can are often only able to function for part of the day. Save the Children is working to provide an education to children of all ages so that they may continue to grow and learn as people. Nutritional support. Children, especially toddlers and infants, are vulnerable to emergencies. Because of this, Save the Children is using educational sessions with breastfeeding kits, which includes crucial hygiene products and various other supplies to encourage proper and safe feeding methods. So that's pretty much the rundown of what Save the Children does. Throughout the month of March, we will be working with them and hopefully putting together kits to send out to them. And there will be many different activities for you to all participate in. Thank you.
Sure. Mr. Schwartz has a PTO announcement for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, next Friday, we have something. First, let me ask you something. Did you enjoy that night that we had in the gym for you guys? Was that good? All right, next Friday. Who likes Dave and Buster's? Just let me see your hands. All right, so there'll be enough here. At Dave and Buster's, we're going to have a buffet from 6 to 9:30. Free card for the entire time that you're there. Next Friday. You got to speak to your parents about it and let them know it's family night from 6 to 9. So I think it'll be really good. There'll be burgers, mac and cheese, fries, pasta, free drinks for Ray. We got our own little room there. So have your parents either send in a check or email someone from the PTO to let them know that we're going. All right, so who's in for this? Hands up. Who wants to do it? So it looks like that we have enough children and you can bring your brothers and sisters too. All right, so remind your parents, next Friday, March 8th, 6 to 9:30. Good?
Thank you. All right, I don't have anything else. Hopefully you guys will sign up for that. Have a great day, stay warm, and have a great day again.